And we are live. We are live, baby cakes. Just so you know. You know. Now you know. There's a hole in this cake. Welcome to Pop On to Pop Off. Hi, Elaine Peterson. How are you? Hey, Jack. Pam Donnelly, two of our long-term people here. Um, and of course, Neo. Neo's just ready to go at any given moment. He's probably in the bathtub or something like that, you know. Don't drop the phone. You'll have a perm. I'm here, Jack. But are you all there, Elaine? Of course you are. I'm just joshing. I'm just joshing. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Thanksgiving 2025. Well, for me it is. Tonight we're having a turkey breast butterball. Got that for free at the shop, right? Yeah. And mashed taters, which I just peeled, stuffing, spinach, a little bit of turnip. Every once in a while I can have that because my mom used to make turnip, so I don't hate it. Squash, Brussels sprouts, still on the hate level, I think. Hi, Zoo Crew. Hello, everyone. Um, and Neo says probably something that'll be unreadable. Actually, have a tablet that I can put on a desk mount, swing arm with tablet holder. Well, you're high tech, aren't you? And by the way, that made perfect sense. So I'm happy I'm not now having to call in my team to figure it out. Well, well, well. That's nice. Ellen McDonald from Australia. Welcome. I'm just here in my second living room chair, so to speak, not my recliner. And we have lighting and we have Santa in the background. See? Vintage. That Santa's could be older than me. That's Santa right there. Could be older than me. So welcome. Just want to remind you we'll be live this weekend on Sunday again. Sunday at 8:30. I know I'll get a call, or not a call necessarily, but somebody in the comment section will say, "I looked for you last night," but of course, if I don't get up there and put in the title live tomorrow night at 8:30, which I don't know how to do here, because unlike you, Neo, I'm not a tech whiz. I'm not a tech whiz. Slim Santa, that's true. I never thought of that. Very good point there. Neon. Yeah, you're right. That's Santa on Ozempic or Manjaro. Manjaro. Whoa. Manjaro. Whoa. It will make you somewhat thinner. You will find yourself, I can rhyme thinner, can't I? And have it make sense. Nothing's coming to mind. Oh well. Oh well. Hey there, Jack and family. Hi, Robbie. I like when I see Robbie spelled that way. Oh, that's Robin Roman. I don't know what I'm saying, Robin Roman. Where am I? Could someone take my vitals? Hey there, Jack and family. Welcome. Hello, Robin Roman. Live tomorrow night at 8:30 East Coast time for Worldwide Ramblings. Some interesting things coming in. Jack, how was the dreaded colonoscopy? You're dreading. I dread the part about, the oddness of the hour, but they gave me a late appointment. And guess what? They could have given me a much later appointment because my gastro doctor, the wonderful Dr. Plumer, he's got white hair now. I'll tell you, when you start to see, I remember him as a young stud, all the nurses flocking around him when he would go into the hospital. He just looked at me because I was in there I think I had visited the cath lab. So he saw me and he stopped. And the nurses were kind of, flirting with him a little bit. And he said, he looked over and smiled and said, "The nurses here are really nice." Yeah, they're friendly. They're friendly. So now he's a little older, you know. He's a little older. I don't know how long. Some of these doctors do it to infinity, and I don't understand anyone who's got a ton of money and wants to do that. Do something else. Open up a seashell business because you live on the beach, you know, something like that. Um, Dr. Swab, Dr. Swab, that's funny actually. Dr. Swab, uh, that's Charles Schwab put an L in the name. Dr. Swab, I saw on last week, right? They all run together. I've had so many lately. Um, he took some prostate blood work and then he violated me. Did not even offer me a cocktail. Oh, dear. He said everything felt good. Then there's the blood work that'll come through. They got special blood work that they didn't used to have now. Hello, Bayou Girl. Welcome, welcome. Of course, she's not saying hello to me. She's saying hello to Lane and Neo. At least it was not Rodney Dangerfield's doctor. Which movie was that from? Oh, you mean Dr. Vinnie Boom Bots. Dr. Vinnie Boom Bots. Yeah. Yeah, he had some good jokes involving him. He had, what was the last one I heard? Yeah, I tell you, Johnny, I tell you, with my wife, sex is no good, no good. You know, we tried to make the love the other night and nothing was happening. And I said, what's the matter? Can't you think of anyone either? Oh, dear. So, I'll save the, you know, I don't want to do it on a pop on, a pop off. I'll save the colonoscopy story till tomorrow night, Elaine. You always want me to, you know, ruin the lead. Although, you know, there's no major problem. I don't think. I don't think. But I don't know for sure. There's a cliffhanger. Oh dear. So, Doctor, there's a place called Woodbury Common. Has anybody heard of it? Because I tell you, a lot of Asian people have heard about it because thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of Asians go there every year. They would be the number one customer. They beat out the locals because it's a ritzy place, you know. There's some deals, and this was Black Friday. My doctor has to go past Woodbury Common. Forgot about the Black Friday thing. He has to go past Woodbury Common to get on 17 to come up to exit 122, which is where Garnet Hospital is right off the exit. So he is stuck in a massive traffic jam. I didn't have to be there. We didn't have to be there till 9 o'clock and came in about 8:45 because I figured, well, there'd be paperwork and stuff, and there's a minimal amount of paperwork. And then you go over to the surgical area, and they called me into there not too long after, you know. But doctor was nowhere to be found at that point. And he finally showed up for, I guess, what would have probably been a 10 o'clock appointment. He probably showed up at about 10:40, something like that. So I was in there for a while, but, you know, he's the kind of guy that, you know, you're fortunate to have him. I've had him for the last number of colonoscopies. And you know, he's the best. Dr. Plumer, the plumber. Dr. Plumer, the plumber. So I'll tell you more about that tomorrow night. Jimmy is here. See, I remembered that. Jimmy Pogera is here. Hi, Jack. Hello, Jimmy. Bro hug, bro hug. So today we went to Soon's Orchard and I got more critter apples, 45 cents a pound. 45 cents a pound, and they're not going to be viable much longer, you know. But I must have got about, I don't know, because they're, you know, they're not big apples, obviously. I must have gotten about 25 or so apples for the deer and stuff. Mostly the deer. It's the cats don't eat apples. So let's see here. How are you, Jimmy? Robbie said, great. memories and feast. Well, that's the way to do it. So nobody talk politics, you know? Nobody talk politics. So first, before we went to Soon's, I went and bought myself some lemonade. I'll probably show you that lemonade tomorrow. It's worth the watch. It's worth the watch. Will I drink it on the air? No. No, I will not. It's not Mike's Hard Lemonade. No. Oh dear. So then we went down to Soon's. There were quite a few people there. I walked over to Scotty's, which is only open on Saturday and Sunday. It's not not. Oh, we saw Hudson the dog. I should have taken a picture of Hudson, shouldn't I, honey? Um, Hudson's just a wonderful dog. He's in public relations at Soon's. You always worry he doesn't have a bright protective vest on, which I think would be a good idea. Also, keep him somewhat warmer, you know. But he just roams by the stores. He can go wherever he wants. If he goes, there's a hard cider bar there. Not sure that's the only liquor they have. And there was a really now that I think about it, maybe I should have got some tape of him because he was pretty good. He was singing. One of the songs he was singing while I was in the vicinity was "With or Without You, with or without you, you too, for you" at 92 Rock 7. Um, and then there's a guy with the what do you call that, the barbecue, but the steamer. You can really smell the wood burning and whatever it is. And he was doing barbecue, whatever you do with one of those things, one of those contraptions, and that smelled good. Karen went into the store. The cider press was on the fritz. People come for the cider off from all over, but it was on the fritz. But they did have pints of cider. So one woman, Karen told me this, one woman says, well, if I buy enough pints, first of all, you're not thinking about all the other people that won't get any because you're a greedy mofo. I said it, a greedy mofo. Probably have been all your life. Can I get that for the same price of what a gallon of cider would be? And he said, no, we don't price it that way. Well, that's not fair. Believe me, I go throughout my whole life telling people that's not fair. You should see me at the grocery store. People don't want to get behind me. Same thing at the fast food line. Oh, I got a lot of questions. I'm persnickety. Persnickety. All her life. All her freaking life. Well, other than that, Irish is here. Well, we don't get this pleasure too often because you're usually sleeping. Irish is, you've got to have already said it. There, I knew you did. Irish, hi Jack, hi everyone from Waterford. From, you usually say beautiful sunny Waterford. Is it winter there in Waterford or what? Because in Australia, Helen, right, it's summer. What'd you tell me the other day? 95 degrees or something? Oh, for goodness sakes. You have a very short winter, don't you? 1 minute you're saying, oh, well, winter's coming here now. Next minute it's 95. 95.5 WPLJ. I remember that station. Yeah, I rarely catch Jack live. That's true. That's true. She's telling the truth there. Nice to have you aboard. Yep, really cold here in Waterford. And windy. Well, everyone knows it's windy. Everyone knows it's windy. Yeah. So we'll be live tomorrow night when you're sleeping, Irish, at 8:30 East Coast time. But you always check the replay out. You're very faithful to do that. So that's cool. It's 10:20 on a Saturday night here, says Irish. I see. So for me to be on at 10 o'clock in the evening, I got to come on now if it's Waterford time. Yeah. Tigman is here from 105.5 WPDH. 101. I shouldn't know that, right, Karen? I mean, that used to be the bomb. You know, you want your Led Zeppelin, you got to tune in to PDH. Now it's, you know, radio's dead with music, except in some key markets that remain, especially for country music and oldies. The older people, you're not getting, you know, you're not getting one of these progressives to listen to music on the radio. You're not getting it. It's like they ain't getting pregnant either. They ain't getting pregnant either. Are you kidding? I'm going to care about a little brat kid? Oh, that kid stinks. No way. They haven't got it in them. I'm talking about a certain kind of, young person. Others are completely different. But I'll tell you, even places like Tennessee, you got that blonde woman. Is it Congress she's running for? Oh my God, as woke and progressive as possible. The guy who's the Republican, and it's always a Republican that wins there, Trump won by a long shot. Todd Bradshaw, get out and campaign for that guy. Get out, get that guy. He does. He's not like Mr. Charisma, you know. He's definitely going to need Orange Man to come and do a rally with him. He's definitely going to need that. So, although if I'm correct, the election is December 2nd. So too late, Jake. Too late. Sometimes Trump misses a place he should really go and help, because maybe in a state like New Jersey, he could have pushed what's his name, Chitterelli, over the line, you know, and they wouldn't have ended up. I always confuse Virginia with same thing there. He should have been in Virginia, or maybe they wouldn't have got Spamberger. Oh man, some people just have the look of the woke person. You can tell their first executive order will be to put tampons in the elementary school boys' room. Wouldn't mind some of that lemonade. Oh, I don't know if you're ready for that there. You know what I'm saying, right? Maybe you do and maybe you don't, huh? Yeah? I'm doing Magda now. Hey, Brenda Sweeney, she's probably not here, but I got her. She's hooked now. She's hooked. She's hooked on the Dark Shadows TV show. She really is. I tell you, start with episode 210. Don't go for the early episodes. Watch them in reverse. Once you get through, I think it's 1145 is the last episode. She's just hooked, you know. I don't have to explain to her anymore why we're on our fourth time watching it. That it's like become part of our family. In fact, let's see here. There's Josette Dupre right over there. Karen's going to kill me. There's Josette Dupre and Barnabas. I'm hearing John. Who's John? I don't know that name. Well, that's all you're going to get. There's Josette in the middle. It's autographed by Catherine Lee Scott herself when we went to Lyndhurst Mansion. Okay, I'm back. Camera's on me, Karen. Number 2, I would say number 2 girl, because it's a G. 7, 6. You could have come up with a catchier handle, you know. I mean, I don't know if it's, you know, as good as Bayou Girl, you know, 1961, huh? What are you, a youngster? Paul Snowcloud. Well, we are definitely getting new people, because I've never gotten Paul Snowcloud here. Said hi. See, if you say just hi, it always goes to past tense. I find that fascinating, but it's just true. Oh, this could be a foe, which you gotta expect. It's part of YouTube, you know. Dudes, I think you tried to write too fast. I think you're making fun of my forehead and afterhead. I tell you, you should never have too much bourbon. Too much bourbon and typing just don't go hand in hand. I'm always the watcher backer every Sunday. The watcher backer. Well, that's the first time anybody ever put it that way. 20 watching right now, 11 likes. Please subscribe. Please. I'm not just saying this like, you let it go in one ear and out the other. Please subscribe and please hit the like button and the notification bell if you haven't already. I know Elaine Peterson has. There's no doubt about that. But please subscribe. Please hit that button right now. Okay. I gotta get far away from the 11,200 mark. So Robbie says too much bourbon. Yeah, I'm not a bourbon. I'm a vodka, gin, tequila guy. I guess I like my liquor white. What can I tell you? Does that mean I'm racist? Am I racist if I like white liquor? I don't know. Yeah, whiskey sour wasn't bad, but not my cup of meat. Not my cup of meat. Somebody just asked Elaine Peterson if she ever drank a whole bottle of tequila at once, and she said, "Yes, I have. I see it there, Elaine. Yes, I have." You will get there eventually with subscribers. Oh, well, I don't have a goal. I just, don't want to go backwards, I'm never going to be the top shelf liquor guy. I'm never going to be that. I'm happy being moderately, successful. If we meet our small budget, because people hit the thanks button or the Cash App, which we talk about on the Worldwide Ramblings briefly. If people do that, and I just make a meager budget that helps me supplement a retirement that got a lot smaller than I thought it was going to be, if I can do that, I'm not a drinker myself. Cappuccino is my cup. See, coffee, I don't know about cappuccino per se. That's like coffee 2.0, right? And lattes and all that. I mean, they smell good. Hazelnut coffee smells so good, but I just can't get in the coffee. I tried to tell myself for a long time I loved red wine, and I don't. There is one white wine that Karen drinks. What's that wine you drink, honey? What's that white wine that begins with an M? Moscato? Yeah, that's pretty good because it's sweet, If it weren't sweet, I wouldn't like it. I'm not sweet enough, apparently. I got to have a sweet wine. I love tea and coffee. Well, I'll join you with the tea anytime. Brew me a nice cup. All I want in it is some cream. I'll settle for milk, but I'd rather have cream. Don't want any sugar in there unless it's chai tea once in a while, eh? Oh, I love my chai tea. I love it at Kung Fu Tea down by Mr. Washi Washi Laundry. I do. Yeah, then I put milk in it. I put some Splenda in it, and maybe even a little honey. Because the first time I ever experienced chai tea was down at the Renaissance Fair. And it was delicious. At that point, I became a chai customer. But at Kung Fu Tea, it's a cold version. Oh, it's so good. When that place first opened, I said, oh, they don't even serve food. They do serve some kind of chicken that they have sometimes, I've only seen one person buy it, though. But people come far and wide for those drinks. The milk tea things and the mango slush is delicious. They even give you bits of mango if you want it, and it's great. So, people just roll up there even in January, and in the summertime, gold mine. Oh yes, chai tea. Get the tea bags. Get them online, Amazon. Forget the brand that we use, the chai tea. And it's not expensive. And you might want to do what I do is I also use a regular Lipton tea bag because I want real punch in my tea, And then I put my cream and first a little bit of 2% milk, organic style, because it tastes so good, that organic style. Teresa Lynn Panel just wrote on my Facebook Messenger that this really cool picture that she took with a famous person, that we'll be able to share it with you tomorrow night. It'll be the thumbnail. But I'll hold my phone up and she'll probably be washed out. She and who she's with. Don't tell anybody, Teresa. Has anyone tried Manuka honey? Karen, I'm getting a Manuka honey question here.
I haven't tried to eat it.
You haven't tried to eat Manuka honey?
No, but you can.
You can.
No, I like the cosmetics.
Because Robbie, why do I want to keep calling you Robbie? Robbie Roman. Robin.
They load their stuff with the Manuka honey.
Yeah, this is galore. It's 8:30 at night and she's saying, I hope I can stay awake. I mean, what is she, 90? Come on here. Oh, if I don't get up at 4:30 in the morning and have my coffee, it's a bad day, you know? Oh, relax. You're retired. Well, she's semi-retired. She does her crafts. So go to her Facebook page. It's something like, I always say it wrong, Teasa's Treasures, Teeza Treasures on Facebook. Teza, Tamale, whatever, however she pronounces it. And you'll find her some of the craft items that she has for sale. She goes to craft fairs, you know. She goes to craft fairs. So that's pretty cool. She sent a photo. I can't access any of that on Facebook Messenger right now. Lipton is the best. I used to think so for years. Bayou Girl. I used to think so for years. But, that Tetley British blend.
I got you started.
You got me started on Tetley. Well, no, I appreciate Tony Randall back in the day with the tiny little tea leaves in Tetley tea. But those round British blend, no string, just use a spoon and stir it. Jimmy, stir it. And so good. I don't know. I don't buy Lipton anymore, but I still like Lipton. I just found something a little better. And when you start getting into these teas that it's like I'm putting dandelions and tulips in my tea, that's not tea. Look, there's one kind of licorice. Strawberry Twizzlers is simply a strawberry candy. It's not licorice. Black licorice is licorice. That's it. There's no chocolate licorice because you made it in the shape of a chocolate. What is this poppycock? Elaine Peterson. I do not have Facebook anymore. I got off of it. You mean you got off of it like you got off of heroin? Oh, dear. Well, I don't use it a lot. My Facebook friends that I have, which are not that many as I don't solicit them, there are people on there that I care about, but there's other people that I don't really hear from much or whatever. I try to interact a little bit when I see something in my general posting, but I don't usually go looking for it. But yeah, to spend a lot of time on Facebook and, these are my friends. I've got 4,095 friends, 5 more, and I can't have any more. 4,995 friends. And I say, really? This is how you want to spend your time? All the time on the computer? And then when we get into things like people who play games, what do you play? Cards or something. And of course, the spinning of the wheel with no money involved. At least there's no money involved. Fake friends, somebody said. Elaine Peterson. Yeah, it's acquaintances. Somebody you used to work with 37 years ago, and Karen will be telling me their dog died. I'm sorry their dog died, but if it weren't for Facebook, you would have lost track with this person 37 years ago.
Isn't it wonderful you don't lose track?
Isn't it wonderful you don't lose track?
You can stay in touch.
stay in touch. But I think we all need a big hourglass in our living rooms of our lives, and we'll see all this sand on the bottom. Then we'll look up top and say, "Oh crap, maybe I should live life a little differently." Jack is here, another Jack. Let's see. I'm going to blow it, so I won't even try. Oh, it's Jackie Organ. It was all together. It confused me. Helen McDonald, of course, that's her buddy from Australia. They live there. They know all about the hot weather right now. They mopped the floor and hung laundry. Yeah, or you have to take a picture of every single meal you've ever had and post it on Facebook. You know, I understand when something is stupendous. Jack, this is for you. It's a sad day. Who wrote that to me? I just see the little thing come up at the top of the screen, you know. Neo, like sands in the hourglass, these are the days of our lives. Oh, did my first wife love the days of our lives? And there were times when I kind of enjoyed it too. I've told that story. We were right outside NBC Burbank, and it was getting to be near 5 o'clock. We figured, you know, we'll just wait because they're going to be coming out. We were spot on. So Deidre Hall comes out in this little mini sports car, the kind that you're not going to survive in a car wreck, you know, and zips out of there, doesn't even look at us, you know. And we saw an actor who played one of the young guys on there. I knew him when I saw him. He had a sports car, and he turned right, huh? Alec Baldwin was on Days of Our Lives, right? Yeah, one time before his big movie star days and his big, most likely to be seen on a TMZ show days. And not for the right reasons. Not for the right reasons. So, hi, Jackie Organ, says Elaine Peterson. Ha ha, Jack, stop it. You have to let me know what you're reacting to. I don't know. Because now I got to try to, you know, got to rewind my mind. And that's not always easy to do. So there we were outside Burbank there, and they're starting to come out. And we see the guy, Drake Hogeson, maybe? Sadly, he passed away from cancer in 2024. Deidre Hall, who worked with him because they were like a love interest, was devastated. And he was on there for, you know, like so many of them. He was on there for over 20 years. Rick Springfield was on General Hospital.
Oh, right.
Right? Yeah, Rick Springfield was on General Hospital. But let's see here. Yeah, so the guy who played John Black on there, John Black, really popular with the ladies, good-looking man. And I've told this story before, but he pulls out in like a Jeep kind of thing, and not a new model. You know, I don't know how long you've been on the show there, but probably got a nicer car later. But he pulls up, and there's nobody behind him coming out, so he just stops, and us and the late Bonnie Leopoldo, the children, my son, my daughter, we were just kind of looking around, and then I think it was Bonnie that looked at the car that had just stopped, and he was looking to his left with a waiting for the reaction kind of thing. And he must have saw her face just light up like a Christmas tree. Oh my God. And he just motions that he's going to pull over to the side. He's going to come out and pull over to the side of the road. And he must have spent like 10, 15 minutes with us, asked us where we were from. At the time, we were living in Goshen, New York. And he said, I know where it is. I played Penn League baseball in New York. I know where Goshen is. Yeah, and we talked. They talked about the show and everything, and he signed something, and he was a real peach, a real peach. You can also use honey for a sore throat or for healing wounds. Are we talking Manuka honey? Because I'm going to go for another kind of honey. Like we have B-Man here, and I've got to go get some more honey this coming week. Um, he makes his own honey, and they say local honey is good to have. I don't really like the dark honey. I think that may be better for you. I like the yellow honey, it tastes better. But you reminded me, I've got any kind of honey. They always say if it's honey from your local person for some reason. I don't know why that is. I don't know why. You gonna turn the potatoes on, honey?
I already did.
Did you put salt in them?
Yes. Your immunity, your immune system.
So you didn't ask me if I had put salt in them. We could have had salty potatoes. She could have ruined my potatoes. Yeah. Seabrook cream spinach. Anybody know that? I've been eating Seabrook cream spinach since the 60s. My mom got that, and it looks exactly the same, the packet, and it tastes exactly the same. And for like, I don't know, 6 weeks at ShopRite, they kept their the two spaces they have for it. But there was no Seabrook spinach. Every week I go by, no Seabrook spinach. And then it went on sale and it still wasn't there. At that point, I should have went and got a rain check saying, you don't have any Seabrook spinach. So I'd like that $1.99 rain check. But Einstein, I have never been called. Certainly not by one of my ex-wives. It's like on December 20th, I'm going to get my head examined. And heck, they told me I should do that decades ago. I don't know why I'd say that. I don't know why. I don't know why you don't love me like you did. Or did you? Or did you? Now, first one was all my fault. I know that. I know that. There's 22 watching right now. If you haven't signed in, first thing, please subscribe. Hit that button. Can you do it right now? Like, hit the notification bell. And if you can, hit the thanks button for a few dollars. That would help us. We're about to close out November, and we're way behind. But you know why it doesn't sting so much is because of the people who hit the thanks button or hit the Cash App, which is lowercase letters Media Guy 56, MEDIAGUY 56 on Cash App, Media Guy 56. So appreciate, and it doesn't have to be a lot of money. But if you are wealthy and you've been watching me and you're a fan, oh, I'll tell you, I'll sing your praises. I'll come and take you to dinner. I'll come and take you to dinner. I was telling Todd Bradshaw, I wish him a happy Thanksgiving, and he wrote me a wonderful letter back. I think he's going to try to join us tomorrow night, Todd Bradshaw. So I said we'll have to meet at Buc-ee's because there's a new Buc-ee's opening where he is, near where he lives. We'll have to meet at Buc-ee's. But we had a nice conversation, and that was really nice. And I thanked Vinny Maru, who was on Sunday night late. I have to stay on late for Vinny. He's in our gold club. I like Vinny, and Mama didn't give birth to a total idiot. You know what I'm saying? So, but had a nice little exchange with Todd Bradshaw. So we got to see about some of those other people we've lost. I wonder how Ted Richards is, for example. Doesn't answer the email, doesn't answer. Yeah, Vinny works, of course. You know it. But he told me his hours once, and they weren't nighttime hours. So is he sleeping? I don't know. But I wish I could just go to Vegas and, have a dinner with him. I advised, because we did talk on near Thanksgiving, I advised in an email that he go to the, be careful, both hands on the rail. These stairs always scare me. I don't know. I advised he go to the Excalibur for the buffet in Las Vegas. I only did that once in 1998 with the Leopoldos. Again, the Leopoldos. That's the same trip where we would have went to Days of Our Lives outside NBC Burbank. And I said, go to that Excalibur. It ain't cheap. I bet I've heard from my son who's been to Vegas much more recently than I have. I haven't been there in 27 years, but he said it's pretty expensive and it's pretty darn good, pretty darn good. It's like Golden Corral, but on steroids. Golden Corral, but on steroids. And we don't have a Golden Corral anymore. Didn't make it here. Couldn't even find staff because, people don't tip that great and they're not under certainly the $15 an hour, $16 an hour threshold that a 16-year-old is who works at McDonald's. So why do they want to go to Golden Corral and work as a waitress, and then you get the guy who comes in and eats himself into oblivion and then says at the end, throw her $1 or $2. They didn't do much, just brought us my 5th sweet tea, sweet tea, they don't do much. That lady is depending on those tips. So guess what? Let's call him Chester. Guess what, Chester? Because you threw her $1 or $2, there is no Golden Corral anymore. Because they all said something like "muck it," and that was it. That was it. So they eventually gave up. What is Iris saying that's so provocative? Is she talking about the dead people she has in her basement again? Oh dear. Blaine, been to Vegas since I haven't been to Vegas since I was a kid. Oh, that's Neil. Yeah. 1998. I was no kid at the time, unfortunately. I have 4 flights of stairs in my house. You're not talking about you live in an apartment and you have to climb 4 flights of stairs, right? Yeah, baby. Your Santa Claus, they're saying, is too skinny.
Oh, yeah, that one.
He's very skinny.
That's an old dollar store one. I kind of liked it.
It's a dollar store one?
Yeah.
I thought it was.
From years ago.
Oh, I thought it was some rare vintage piece.
No.
I don't know. So that's basically the story, Dory. I just wanted to pop on and tell you we'll be live tomorrow night at 8:30 East Coast time as Karen is watching 90 Day Floozies. It's the 4th part of the tell-all. 3rd part. Oh, there's more to come. Then we'll see tomorrow night. Someone will see, not me. But I mean, it would be like Kamala Harris. The life story of Kamala Harris, really could be told in 30 minutes, and it would be about, you could make it a lot bigger, but it'd be how she was a lousy attorney general. She was a lousy prosecutor. She was a lousy senator, and then a lousy vice president. Not much more to say after that. Not too much more to say. Oh, Elaine Peterson, aren't you nice? Aren't you nice? A lot of European homes have many floors, sometimes small areas each floor. Well, if you drink yourself a couple of bottles of Gatorade, European. It's just the way it is. She was beyond lousy. She was lethal. And that's why I can't understand this is not conducive if somebody is not of this persuasion, but I can't believe old school Democrats would have voted for her. My actor friend, he really wouldn't consider me a friend. He considered me a brain dead Trump supporter, but he's a Hollywood actor who's done quite a few things. I don't think it's so bad if I say the name. Neil, look up this guy later because this is your ballpark. I think he's done a few movies that you would like that he's been in. He's been in the top 3 of the cast. His name is Gary Mosher. Gary Mosher, he has had tragedy this year, so I try not to go too hard on his Trump derangement syndrome. But he didn't block me, to his credit. He didn't block me. And so it was just a few months ago, his 59-year-old son died of a heart attack. Gary doesn't look to be as old as I guess he is. He looks to be about, and this is good for you, Gary, you look to be about 69, 70 years old. And he's done a lot of things, you know. He's done a lot of things. He's not some background actor. But he usually tells me, just go back to your bubble. You seem happy there. But when he said that he was going out with his friends to a place near one of the Hollywood studios, some kind of steakhouse for Thanksgiving, they probably had turkey too. And he said he was going out with them. I saw it later, so I said, "Hope you had a wonderful time." You know, because this guy has gone through tragedy. It wasn't the only thing that happened to him, losing his son. So he liked that. He hearted that. And that's the first time anything positive from Gary Mosier. But we could probably have an interesting discussion. I'd have to brush up. I've only seen one of the things he's done, so I'd have to brush up. But he often plays a cop because he's that, you know, he's definitely the cop looking kind of guy. You get locked into a certain persona. Uh, Elaine is preaching now, huh? Is she gonna, is she gonna assume a church pastorate? Is Gloria Drummond here? I think I just saw that name. Yeah, she must be. Can I get an amen from Elaine Peterson? Well, she's obviously a Pentecostal preacher. Well, I guess Baptists say that too sometimes, right? Or you can constantly say, I shouldn't do this. You can constantly say, amen, amen. Oh, God. Oh, dear. Oh, Elaine Peterson. All men, all women are double-minded sometimes. You know that. You know that. Bob Joyce, Elvis, you know. It's like people say, we'll get to heaven and all we'll do is praise the Lord 24/7. That doesn't sound right. I don't think the Lord would need that. He would want to share the beauties of heaven and would not mind if we, I don't know about the eating part. I hope so. I don't know if I'm going to be there. There's a class at Goodwill Church called Saving Your Soul. Saving Your Soul. I don't want to get into heavy stuff now, but that did catch my attention, you know, because as you get older, the certainty of things are, if you're going to be honest, and many Christians aren't, if you're going to be honest, somewhat diminishes. But I'll go to my grave believing Jesus Christ is the way, the truth, the life, and no one comes to the Father but through me. I don't know how to explain things like Nigeria and St. Jude's Children's Hospital, but nevertheless, it's not up for Jack Willard to understand all those things. It's up to Jack Willard to sing it with me. Sing it with me. I know you know this song, Gloria. Trust and obey, 'cause there's no other way to be happy in Jesus. You must trust and obey. Teresa Williams, yes, we Baptists do say amen. Yes. I didn't hear a lot of them when Charles Stanley was preaching. And let's face it, if we're going to talk about Baptist preachers, most Baptist preachers would not be as good as Charles Stanley was. Well, he was, you know, international speaker. And miss him very much. He was no wiggle room, though, you know. He believed in eternal security, which is interesting. That's a big controversial issue in Christianity. Pentecostals tend not to believe in it. Can be saved on Monday, lose your salvation on Tuesday. It gets confusing and it gets, let's just admit it, terrifying. You think Stephen King wrote horrifying things? Listen to one of these guys that said he spent 8 hours in hell. Oh my God. Tell you, put hair back on your head. It'll put back on my lower part of my forehead, or no, that's the upper part of my forehead. See, I didn't take biology. I didn't take biology, but I knew a pretty girl when I saw one. I knew it. I knew it. Oh boy. That was The Flesh. Brought to you by the lower self. By the lower self. What channel are you going to check out, Elaine? What channel? They're still running Charles Stanley. You know, he's gone on to be with Jesus right now. So please subscribe, like, hit the notification bell, and the thanks button, please. What's going on, Teresa Williams? Everything okay with you? Hope I got to you in time. I mean, I know I acknowledged you before, but I didn't say too much. I could fly up my stairs with Gatorade. What do you put in that Gatorade? A little bit of what we call here in West Virginia, Tennessee, South Carolina, North Carolina, white lightning. You know, I still haven't seen an episode of Moonshiners. This is the show on. I get Discovery Plus. It's only $6, and they haven't put any of season 15 up. I mean, that's the whole reason I got it. Discovery is the show here, because every time I think I'm going to find it, I don't find it. I don't know. They're definitely taping, though. I know that. I've seen some of that evidence. I know most of you don't care about moonshine. I've never had moonshine in my life. Probably wouldn't like it, although the hazelnut moonshine from Mark and Digger, the stars of the show, I would definitely try it. I'd try a sip. I don't want to set out my defibrillator. Jack, there are so many channels to watch, it just amazes me. Oh, don't spend too much time on them. Says the guy who's watching Dark Shadows for the fourth time, the original series, 1966 through 1971. Says that guy. Yeah, it's in the evening that we would do that, you know. But if I add it all up, too much time on Fox News, you know, when you realize you're hearing the same stories over and over after a while, you say, perhaps that's enough, you know. And on the weekend, there's just too much of them telling you the stories of Thursday and Friday, and then they go to a reporter who covers New York, like the great C.B. Cotton, and she's sitting in a studio. There's nothing going on out there. I know you'd rather be, and it's dangerous in New York. It's going to get more dangerous. It's going to get more dangerous. I'll tell you what. Little lamp. Very nice. A lot of traffic going by. You can see the lights. The lights went off on Broadway. So that's it. Don't have cable. Just an antenna and streaming. So what do you get off your antenna, Neo? Do any of the stations, the broadcast stations, still? Because I thought a number of years ago now, they stopped broadcasting through the air, really. You know, it was all satellite, whatever. In other words, if you had one of those big antennas on your roof, you couldn't really get much, you know. I used to have a walkie-talkie. No, it was a CB walkie-talkie. You know, it was basically a CB, and you could get like weather on there and stuff like that. There was a button for that. But there was also, if you fooled around with the frequency, this was a number of years ago. I would never do that today. Back then, when the cell phones were kind of new, if you happen to be living in the right area and what have you, you could pick up cell phone conversations. Yeah, you know, and baby monitors. That's what you could pick up. You could pick up baby monitors, and you would hear the cell phone in the background. But I'm not going to go any further with that. I will let you use your own imagination as to what you might be able to stumble upon. Oh, dear. I noticed that also, Jackie Organ, me too, whatever we're talking about, there's a lot of over-the-air digital channels, really. Like what? Tubi? Tubi or not Tubi? We can get that right on the internet, right? Tubi streams, of course. So that UFO special that's supposed to be so good, what the heck do they call it? It's on Prime Video right now. I think it's in some theaters too. I'm going to wait for the price to come down a little on that one. I want to see it, but $19.99 just to rent it, $24.99 to buy it. It's not really unreasonable. If you went to the movie theater, you would be per person, you would be paying, $14, $15 added up. And I haven't even gotten to the popcorn and soda, the soda, which is no good for you. Liquid death, Neo, liquid death. That's what it is. 17 watching, 16 likes. I hope the people that haven't subscribed have hit the subscribe button. I'd like to see it jump in that instead of looking and it's up by one, or two. But I realize a lot of people here are already subscribed. I get it. So that's interesting. PBS, well, it's good if it's an oldie show, but, Trump defunded the PBS. CBS, NBC. Yeah, haven't given me anything too exciting there, Neil. Nothing too exciting. Like if you don't have the Travel Channel, you're not going to, all these channels that Travel Channel, you would think, it's all about going to different countries. Only if there's ghosts there. Then you'll see another country, ghost and various phenomenon, what have you. We do keep the tree up for about 3 months, huh? This is a designer peacock tree, I see, with thousands of peacock colored lights. Oh, send me a picture in my email, will you? Send me a picture of that, Robin Roman, and ornaments when you must see. Well, I hope. I thank Jesus for giving his life for us. Well, there you go. Because if he be not risen, if he had not died on the cross and he be not risen, our hope is in vain. And it's not going to be, in my personal opinion, it's not going to be Allah instead. It's not going to be, recently, Alan Osmond, the oldest of the performing Osmond brothers, but he doesn't perform too much anymore because he's got some kind of disease, maybe MS. So he's sitting down these days. But without saying anything about the Mormon Church or their doctrine at all, he put up this long thing saying, people sometimes make fun of his beliefs and what have you. And he goes into a pretty impressive narrative, but he's referring only to the Bible. So I had to respond to him, and I said, I noticed that you don't talk about the Book of Mormon. You don't give us the full story here, because that's what people are reacting to, And the reality is the last few verses of the Bible negate another revelation from God, warning us that if anybody adds to these scriptures or takes away from these scriptures, the plagues that are written in this Bible for those who are apostate will be added to you. Well, the person who in the Mormon Church, if you would agree with me, who wrote the Bible, in my opinion, was not the golden plates received by. Oh, what are you going to scare me with next? Before the cat got out, and you would have thought that a plane had just crashed in the backyard. The cat is coming back. In fact, it won't be that long. And you clipped him with the door in your haste, because he's out. It's a beautiful sunny day. It was like 40 degrees. But Suki, the black cat who has the kittens, literally chased Willie back to the house. This has got to give our cat from Dark Shadows, Willie Loomis, complex. Nobody likes me. I come out here and nobody seems to want anything to do with me. I was more popular when I was a homeless cat at the Valero station, worrying if I was going to get hit by an incoming car. So I stayed on the sidewalk all the time, So he came back on his own volition. I'm so glad the cat will be back. The cat is back. he was ready. And when he's ready, he comes back. He keeps away from the front road. We're hoping that continues. And he only goes out a couple of times a week, really. So there you go. Is that cat coming back wearing a hat? Neo, you're just you're in another realm. You're probably one of those parallel timers. One of those parallel timers, which Dark Shadows will be covering after the Leviathan storyline. Not the best storyline on Dark Shadows. That drags, but there's some really good moments because old cast members come back and stuff like that. Jack, please show us a pic of your cats. Uh, can't do it here. I don't think we have one up. Um, but I will tomorrow. I will tomorrow. I only have one cat now. When I moved in here, it was a literal zoo. There were 5 birds, 7 cats, 8 if you count the one with Karen's mother next door when she was alive. Which was 15 years ago, and they all slowly have gone. And then we went to the Valero station one cold night in February, I guess last February, and there was the cat we would eventually call Willie Loomis, which was Barnabas's sidekick on Dark Shadows, if he didn't beat him with his silver cane because he misbehaved, you know. There was Willie, and he was so friendly, and he didn't look like he was we thought right away that he just escaped from his house. He was rolling around the sidewalk. I think at one point he did a card trick for us. I mean, it was like he was auditioning to come with us, you know. So we picked him up and kidnapped him. But then we did whatever we could because we know someone who lives right next to the Valero station, and they said, "Oh, that's Mayhem." Mayhem. Oh no, we got a cat whose name is Mayhem. Yeah, he comes in the house sometimes, but I don't think he belongs to anybody really. I think he belongs to anybody, and he might be a relative of the cat we had, Kaz Reed. Kaz Reed. He might be a relative of his. So then we really wanted him because Kaz Reed was the best cat we ever had. And there were some great cats here besides Kaz, but Kaz was just special. Lived a wonderful life. Spent his summer over with the boys next door. He summered next door. So yeah, that's how it is. I'll show you Willie again tomorrow, though. He's a pretty cool cat. But if I'm sleeping down on the recliner here at night, if I decide not to go up to the studio / bedroom and sleep down here, at some point he's going to come down those stairs and he's going to start meowing loud and wake me right up. Oh boy. So I only got one cat. Oh, we have shown in our live videos when we're outside, we have shown you the kittens. 0 response. I don't think one person made a comment. Sometimes what I think might be, attention getting, no. So the candy's coming in, and I gotta wash up and get ready to mash those taters because that's my job. We mash them with the mixer, with the mixer, and put a little milk and butter in there and stuff. Because I didn't get to have Thanksgiving on Thursday because I had to fast all day for a colonoscopy Friday morning, which I'll tell you about tomorrow, Elaine. Won't get too graphic though. I try to lay on my side. Don't sleep on your back. That's not good for you. That's not good for you, especially if you have sleep apnea, mild condition like I have. If you have serious sleep apnea, I would advise the sleep machine. I would buy CPAP. So here's somebody we don't know, and he says you need a haircut. Why? I'm from that generation. I don't know how old you are, Mr. Paylad. But I don't want to look like my grandfather, who I never met. I don't want to look like that. Somebody said, female said, you gotta, stop dyeing your hair, and we'll do for another one. I leave the temples white for authenticity. That way I'm fooling people. A lot of guys do that. Look at the newscasters. Oh yeah, you can always tell. So Yeah. What was I saying that I've now forgot? I don't know. Anthony Bourdain. Yeah, I would like to see some of those shows that they're putting up on the CNN app. I just don't want to. I don't want to be a customer of CNN. Communist News Network. But they're putting up footage that never aired from Parts Unknown. And because it's an hour show and they shoot 2 hours worth of tape. So we missed some good moments. And so they're putting that up now. But you can't bring Anthony Bourdain back. He was one of a kind. What's his name there? The guy who was in the terminal. He was pretty good, but also the guy with 1,000 shows. Who's the cooking show guy, Karen, that has 5 shows with the Australian accent or whatever he is? That guy. You know him. Gordon Ramsay. Thank you. Jeez. British. Oh, okay. He does a pretty good job because he's really good at that. But it was a funny kind of show where he goes up to somebody and he said, she had a specialty dish. He said, "Would you cook that for me?" And she says, "No." He says, "Well, why won't you cook it for me?" She says, "Because you're mean to people. You're mean to people." And he looked at the camera and he says, "My reputation precedes me." And then he tried to explain to her why he has to be tough with people sometimes, Gordon, yeah, Gordon. I do not want any machines in my bed. Well, I'm going to let Jackie London, as I once called myself, the DJ, I'm going to mandate that he refrain from speaking at this time. At this time. Oh, yeah. So I can see Elaine Peterson has got to get to the optometrist. I've been telling you this, Elaine. Get to the optometrist and take a taxi when you do it, will you? Give us all a break and take a taxi. Uber your way or use the local taxi guy. They spend all these money on medallions to have Ubers come in and ruin their business. It was like $1 million in New York City to get a medallion for one of those yellow cabs. And then they let Uber come in there. Now this guy's got a fleet of taxis that he paid $12 million or more for. It depends how many taxis he had. And, he's being undercut right and left by Uber people. No doctors, Jack. That's so silly. And when I tell this story tomorrow night, we will show you. We will not show you. No, I won't show you. But I will explain. Okay. Miss Rain. Jack, I see that Gene Ho's son has been playing in the band. He's been doing that for a while with Pastor Bob Joyce Services. Yeah, he's been doing that for a good while now. Not that long after Gene Ho moved to Hot Springs and went to Household of Faith because Dave Blaze, the boss there, Gene is second in command, said, you got to get over that Household of Faith. There's a guy over there. I don't know why people say this. There's a guy over there that looks just like Elvis Presley. And he sounds just like him. But sometimes he can not sound like him. Yes, yes. And of course, Gene Ho said, "Are you taking your medication, Dave? Are you taking your medication?" Before you know it, Gene is making the drive from Hot Springs to Benton every Sunday with his family, La Familia, and eventually his son starts playing guitar. Yeah, playing the guitar. Are you okay, Elaine? Sometimes when something goes down the wrong pipe, it can be as simple as a stick of gum. I'm sick of them over-prescribing meds. Well, you always have a choice if you think something is a bridge too far. But blood pressure medicine for some people, if they didn't have it, lithium has saved some people's lives from going into the insane asylum and them locking the door forever, you know. So I think God uses medications too. He certainly uses herbs, we know, and because he created those herbs. He created those herbs. So, I mean, if Luke the physician wanted to treat you, I bet you'd let him treat you, Elaine Peterson. Okay, Elaine is ready to be beamed up. No, that's not what we're supposed to do. All these people that have been yelling rapture, rapture, rapture for years. I know we're probably closer than ever. But rapture, 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 you know, oh, get me out of here. That's not the gospel. The gospel is be fruitful and occupy. Well, I took two scriptures and combined them. But, you know, we have an assignment, all of us. We have an assignment to do. We have an assignment to do, whether it's, you know, tell somebody about Jesus next door or go to the soup kitchen or something else, you know. So church is where we learn about our assignment and learn about the Word of God. But it's not the be end all. Some people go just to escape hell. They go to church to escape hell. Or they go because isn't that coffee hour nice? I like to socialize. Oh, they got some nice cinnamon buns today. Got some nice buns. Nice buns. Always good. The DJ will never completely leave me. You may give me 20 lashes, Elaine. Maybe I picked the wrong person there. I don't know. Oh, dear. Jesus can treat me. First of all, Elaine, we all know that you have had certain things done. So, like your knee replacement. So, you know, of course, you're not going to hobble around forever, right? Be in pain. You made the right decision there. You made the right decision. You know you did. It's a coffee house to some, correct? It's a social hall. It's a place where people go expecting to be noticed by the pastor and, you know, get a nice position in the church. And if things don't go well in that department, on they go to the next church. On they go to the next church. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. I'm going to say a big God bless you. Thank you, everybody, for this pop on to pop off. For a Saturday, we'll be live tomorrow, Sunday. Sunday at 8:30 p.m. East Coast time, US of A. Will you be there? I hope so. Please subscribe now before you leave. If you haven't already, subscribe, like, hit the notification bell as well. That would be swell. Ta-ta for now, everybody. My Thanksgiving dinner is on the horizon. And since I'm painfully thin, I better make sure I get some.